Hey Internet, Eric here. If you've been following my channel, you know that I'm slowly going through the Rocky franchise. And I believe it was last week I discussed Rocky 4. That came out in 1984, I believe. 85, one of the two. Everyone knows, if you're a Rocky fan or a Stallone fan, you know that I think it was last year he released the director's cut of Rocky 4, which he titled Rocky versus Drago. And that is what I'm going to discuss today. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. I've already discussed Rocky 4. So what I did is I actually took some notes for once, when I'm making a video. And what I'm going to do is, honestly, I'm just going to discuss the differences that I noticed. It's been a week since maybe I watched the original Rocky 4, and I just finished this the other day. So I'm just going to discuss the things that I noticed were different. I may have missed a couple things. Obviously, if I miss something that's new or changed, and I don't mention it here, it obviously didn't leave an impression for me. So, first off, the movie literally starts off with 7 minutes of Rocky 3. We get to see Clubber beat him for the title. We get to see him throw the helmet at the Rocky statue. We get to see more relationship with Apollo, or not more relationship with him, but we get to see that relationship with him when he meets Rocky in the gym, and then we get to see a lot of the fight. I would prefer the way it started in the theatrical, because we didn't really need 7 minutes of the retelling of the story. I liked how most Rocky films, they start quick, to the point. And another thing I didn't like is I didn't like how, let's see, how would I say, the original theatrical cut the original theatrical cut started with Eye of the Tiger. That was the big theme in Rocky 3. Rocky beats Clubber Lang. Duke jumps over the top rope, freeze frame, how it is like that. Well, this was changed to the song Sweetest Victory, which is on the Rocky 4 soundtrack. I said how much I love the soundtrack. It's probably the weakest song in the entire soundtrack. No, it's either that or maybe Double or Nothing. Either way, I'm not a big fan of that soundtrack, and I really think they should have kept Eye of the Tiger. I know why they switch it, and I'll explain that at the end. There's also no, how would I say this? Not really an exhibition, but there's no fight between Apollo and Rocky, when they're in the, in the abandoned, I guess you would say, or closed area of the gym, where they have their little rematch type of thing, because, Apollo's calling in a favor. I wish we kind of would have had that, because it was fun. It did connect more to the previous film, Rocky 3. We had a cute little scene where Rocky comes home and he's being video cameraed by Rocky Jr. with the black eye. But they take that out. It cuts right to, literally after Sweetest Victory, it cuts right to Apollo, the scene in the pool where he's playing with the dogs and he's watching Drago on TV. Let's see here. Next, we have a scene where it's brand new. Rocky is at Apollo's mansion, and Rocky and Apollo are having a little discussion on. Apollo asks Rocky, if he's going to fight Drago, and Rocky just basically says, "I don't know." What did they? What did you tell them? That's what I told them. I don't know. And I like this scene. I wish they would have kept this in the theatrical, because it's more so about Apollo feeling like he's forgotten. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to just do this for America, air quotes, like he did, or like he made it seem like in the theatrical. He wanted to do it for himself because he feels forgotten, because he's not an active boxer anymore. He hasn't boxed, I think, since losing the belt to Rocky in Rocky 2. So that was great. It showed how important it was to Apollo. Really great scene. Let's see here. There is a scene where, it's at the dinner table, and Apollo's sitting at the dinner table with the Balboas, and Apollo's talking about how important it is to him. And Rocky's just kind of listening, and Adrian speaks up and says how bad it is, how dangerous it's going to be. And she gets up and leaves because she's just kind of getting upset because she knows it's a bad thing. Rocky goes to console her. And it's a really good scene because she talks about how Apollo is doing it for the wrong reasons. And Rocky's trying to explain to her why he's doing it and what it feels like for him being forgotten and this and that. And it's another good scene to show the chemistry between Talia Shire and Sylvester Stallone. Great scene. After that, what else did I notice? There's some more trash talk from Apollo in the actual press conference before the fight with Drago. There was a really good scene where the reporters are asking questions to Drago, and you got his handler answering questions for him. And a reporter actually says, "Can Drago speak for himself?" And Drago says yes. And he looks like he's going to speak. And then his handler again speaks for him. So it kind of shows how Drago is pretty much like a puppet. You know what I mean? Interesting scene. Let's see what we got here. After that, okay, now we have the fight getting ready, the exhibition with Apollo and Drago. I'm pretty sure the James Brown song is a lot longer. If it's not, it's cut differently because it's so long. It's like the whole fucking song. And what I like about this is we get a lot of shots of both Adrian and Apollo's wife just kind of rolling their eyes like, get on with this. What the fuck is going on? What's going through your head? All about the showboat stuff. And they're worried like, oh, you're not taking this serious, dude. So I liked the additions to those little clips, those camera shots on the wives. There's a couple on Duke and even Rocky. They were just kind of rolling their eyes like, boy, you better get serious type of thing. So I like that. When the fight starts, you have the whole, come on, man, put your gloves up. Are you deaf or something? And then Apollo, boom, and Drago's gloves don't miss. They changed it this time. Drago hits Apollo's glove and knocks him down. Goes through, and then he does the "you will lose," line. I prefer Apollo trying to hit the gloves and Drago doesn't move. That makes him more intimidating. That makes him more scary and dangerous, and a little bit of better foreshadowing to come. Let's see what we got here. The fight is much more vicious. We get Apollo's knocked down in the first round. He's getting a shit beat out of him. Hold on. Sorry about that. I've got a text message, our battery saver thing that popped up. He gets the shit kicked out of him. It's much longer. And they change it because the scene where Rocky's telling him, I got to stop the fight. He looks at him and he says, if you're really my friend, you won't stop this no matter what. Then they focus on Apollo just again, boom, 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 getting destroyed. Longer fight. And the focus on Rocky not throwing the towel in is cut dramatically. He literally lifts up. Duke's yelling, throwing the damn towel. Rocky picks it up. Right when he picks it up, the death blow. I like that because then it shows that no matter what Rocky was going to do, Drago's going to kill him. And there's more taunting from Drago in the second round. There's a little bit in the theatrical cut, like he's sticking his jaw. In here, he literally puts his hands to his head and exposes the body, and he dances around more. The speech from Drago is a little different. We don't focus that much on the reporters being in the way of the ambulance and the doctors. So that was cool. Let's see here. Rocky and Duke speak a little bit longer at the funeral. I don't remember if Rocky spoke at the funeral in the theatrical cut or not. But he breaks down. It's a decent scene. There is a good scene. I don't remember it being in the theatrical, so correct me if I'm wrong. There's a good scene where Rocky he's talking to the boxing commission. And I'm pretty sure this is brand new. It's a really good scene where they won't sanction a Rocky versus Drago fight because they're worried that another death could shut down boxing. And it's really good. And then it immediately cuts to, the press conference about going to Russia and it being an unsanctioned fight. But it's really good, just them looking out for themselves, the commission, because if you think about it, it's a business. They got to do what they got to do. And then Rocky just gets frustrated. Let's see here, blah, blah, blah. To me, correct me if I'm wrong, it's different in this when, because now the rest of the movie, the training is pretty much the same. You know, the sequences, it might be a little longer. But when we get to the final fight, I think when Drago's coming down to the ring with the Russians and the smoke and this and that, it's really cold looking. You know, there's almost no music. And then we get the national anthem. Let's see here. The fights cut differently. It seems more brutal. Certain scenes are switched. The scene where Drago grabs Rocky by the throat and then punches him in the head is right in the beginning of the match. Rocky taking him down to the ground like a wrestler, like the announcer says, right in the beginning of it. Rocky gets knocked down, first round, and he's got an interior monologue. Get up, get up. You know, that type of, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It felt awkward and out of place. The fight is a little different, but still very intense. Let's see here. The last things I've noticed is Rocky beats Drago, and if I remember correctly, Drago wins, Drago loses, Rocky wins, and Rocky throws his hands up in the air to celebrate. And here, Duke runs in, and Rocky literally leaps into Duke's arm extended to the heavens, super happy that he won. I know that's different. The speech is pretty different as well. He gives the whole I can change, you can change, everybody can change stuff, and it helps end the Cold War. But instead of saying everybody can change, you know, he gives that emphasis. I think it's delivered a lot better. Like he says, if I can change, then you can change, everybody can change. You know what I mean? So I liked that delivery better. I liked how, while he's giving the speech, there is more focus on Drago after the fight. He's standing there, he's beaten. And I like how this is different. Instead of, you know, everybody can change, but then we play Hearts on Fire, Rocky celebrating, and then he jumps in the air, freeze frame with the flag. He gives his speech. Eye of the Tiger plays. I get it because it's all about Apollo now. We have more stuff with Apollo. Apollo gave Rocky the Eye of the Tiger. So I get it. I prefer Hearts on Fire at the end of this, and then Eye of the Tiger at the beginning. Anyways, instead of freeze frame and holding the flag, Rocky walks out of the ring with Adrian, with Duke, and there's this exchange, like a glance, with Drago in the corner with Brigitte Nielsen and his crew and Rocky, and it's very quick, but there's this look from Drago that gives him like a look of respect. So I liked that a lot. Brigitte Nielsen isn't in this movie as much. Her role is cut. I don't know if Stallone cut that because they had a divorce or not, but I kind of wish they would have left more of her in the film as the spokesperson. And because I liked her. You know, she was cold, she was calculated, but she had some charisma. So, which do I prefer? I mean, those are the only differences I remembered. Which do I prefer? The Ultimate Director's Cut or the theatrical? It's apples and oranges. I mean, I like some of the... Oh, and there's no poly-sex robot. So, there's that. Apples and oranges. I prefer the original the original beginning of the theatrical because we didn't need the 7 minutes and Sweetest Victory. I like the addition of the Apollo stuff, you know, him wanting to prove that he still has it. He's not forgotten. The scene with Rocky and Adrian in the kitchen is great, but I want Apollo to hit the gloves and Drago doesn't move. The fight is better when he kills Apollo in this one. I like the boxing commission scene. I don't like the interior monologue when he's fighting Drago, though. I don't like how he jumps into Duke's arms. I prefer the arms to the heavens. The speech is delivered better. I like the whole walking out of the ring, but I would have preferred Hearts on Fire. Apples and oranges. You can find this anywhere. You can look for it online. You can get a copy online. Or I think it comes with the new 4K Blu-ray set or whatever. But it is worth a watch. If you're a fan of Rocky, especially if you're a fan of Rocky 4, check out Rocky versus Drago. It's definitely worth a watch. So with that, slowly going through the Rocky franchise. Please note, if you're enjoying this series, this retrospective, I have already discussed Rocky 5 and the Rocky 5 work print. One of my earliest You Hate It, I Don't videos was for Rocky 5. I don't like re-reviewing. I don't like re-reviewing movies that I've already discussed. So this Rocky 5 video is in the Rocky playlist. Same with the Rocky work print video. So if you're done with this and you still want to, if you want to know what I think about Rocky 5, just click on the Rocky franchise playlist and you can watch the Rocky 5 and Rocky 5 work print video. I think that's it. And then after this, I'll be discussing Rocky Balboa with a brand new video. And the same thing with Creed. The original Creed movie is in that playlist. And then the brand new video will be for Creed 2. It's confusing, but if you want to follow the flow of the franchise with me on YouTube, that's just how it's going to be done. So now, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you prefer the director's cut, the theatrical? Doesn't matter to you. Can't wait to finish the franchise. Then the rest of the year on YouTube, unless requested, is all going to be movies I've never seen before. Purple Rain, The Godfather, The Blues Brothers, lots of shit I've never seen. It's going to be cool. And this Saturday, interview with Deathmatch Wrestling Hall of Famer Madman Pondo. It's going to be fun. Cheers.